let's start with Zend. So how long have you been working at Zend as a consultant?
So I'm going on my 7th year at Zend. I started there 7 years ago, and of course 3 years ago RogueWave acquired us, and I've just continued on. But total time with Zend and RogueWave is going on 7 years.
Wow! And what are your roles and responsibilities? Because that you must have transitioned from many types of things that you've been doing over that 7-year period.
Yeah, so I've been a freelance for so long, and then I came on at Zend doing much the same thing, doing consulting, helping folks refactor applications, modernize applications, create clean architecture from the very beginning, from the get-go, and so that's what I came on doing at Zend, and I just continued in that role at RogueWave. It's exactly the same thing. It's just a different company name. Zend is now a product line of RogueWave, right. So we still operate, as Zend, but it's as a product line of RogueWave.
I see. So you say that you do a lot of refactoring of code. Does that mean that you're working mostly on legacy applications, or is there new applications that you build?
So it's a mix. I'd say it's probably a 70-30 split. 30% is on brand new applications where a company says, Adam, help us do this right from the very beginning. Yeah. The other 70-ish% is legacy applications where companies have said, you know what, we created this application 10, 15, 20, or not that long ago, 10 to 15 years ago, sometimes less, maybe 5. And they want to modernize it. They want to take advantage of some of the new frameworks, some of the new packages out there. They want to take advantage of the new functionalities in PHP and things like that. So I spend a lot of time helping them refactor these applications to be used with newer frameworks and such as that.
Wow. So you must come across so many different sort of challenges and so many different sort of things to do with PHP and legacy code. I mean, what is the biggest challenge that you faced dealing with legacy?
So the biggest things is typically dealing with the legacy, sometimes bootstrappers, sometimes just having require statements all over the place, right? And modernizing that to where it can work with Composer, where Composer can then be used to pull in modern libraries and modern frameworks, and then modernizing around that. In some cases, it might be where they were doing PHP in the days where we used to use, underscores between our in our names, and that delineated down to what is the directory structure, right? So that way they could auto load in that manner. Yeah. PSR 0, if you're familiar with the PSRs from PHP Fig. And there's a lot of applications out there that are still doing that. And going to using namespaces where we don't have to do that anymore. Now we can sanely name our classes and use the namespacing to help the autoloader. That is a lot, and that's one of the biggest challenges, is getting to the point where that is now able to be done. I'm modernizing a couple applications right now with customers, and that's the biggest challenge is getting over that hurdle of let's ditch the underscores and have sanely named classes and start using namespaces.
What kind of industries do you focus on? I mean, is it e-commerce, or is it sort of the entertainment industry? Is there any sort of particular niche that you deal with?
Not a particular niche. I mean, I've got some customers in finance, some in shipping, some in working with banking. Those are my big customers that I deal with is banking, finance, and shipping, things like that. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. I don't deal much with e-commerce. I do get customers with e-commerce, of course, but and all of those customers that I just named, that is e-commerce in one form or another. But it's not true e-commerce. It's not like. It's not like building a shopping cart or doing something like that these days. It's more running business. Right. A lot of it is back end systems. A lot of it is managing their business, and so their internal employees can use a web-based application to help them manage the business.
Right. And do you get sort of put on to teams of just people, and you have to teach them up, train them up with the new style of PHP? Is that also part of the role?
Yeah, so I do spend a fair amount of time dealing directly with the teams. A lot of training, helping them get up onboarded with some new technologies, right? Using Composer. Sometimes it can be a little bit painful, getting them to use Composer to pull in some of these awesome packages out there, like using Fly System, for instance, for your file system abstraction, and Doctrine for your database abstraction, things like that. And doing that through Composer. And that takes a bit of training, because if developers haven't been working that way, if they've been creating their own libraries or inside their application creating the functionality and not making it modularized or anything like that, it's just part of the application. That's a learning curve. It takes a little while to get over that hump and do that just as a habit. Yes.
So I guess it's not only the PHP, but it's also the methodologies of how to actually do things. I mean,
exactly.
Do you sort of delve into deployments, continual integration, that kind of thing?
So typically when I work with a client, I'm generally presented with the client, and it's usually with the idea of modernizing their application. Sometimes it might be, get this customer started with continuous delivery. And in that case, I am walking them through setting up a continuous delivery pipeline using Jenkins or Bamboo or something like that, right? Yeah. And then it usually branches over into other things, because usually as you're modernizing an application, of course, you should have continuous delivery. You should set up your unit tests and things like that. There are many segues to go from. So once I'm working with the team, I can make recommendations on all those other areas that they really should have as well, like continuous delivery, unit testing. If they hired me to help them with continuous delivery, it could be around, hey, your application needs modernized. You have a lot of globals here, or something along that line. Let's fix this.
So it's a lot of code tidy up and sort of bringing everything to the new world of the latest and greatest and stable.
Exactly. And a lot of it is, the companies are putting their trust in me to be an on-call architect. And that's pretty much what I am. I am an on-call architect. So as they need somebody to guide them, as they need somebody to help them modernize, implement continuous delivery, in some cases even starting to use Git, whether it's a remote repository or a local repository, they're trusting me to be their on-call architect to guide them on the right path.
Yeah.